Giridhari Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Sri Ram Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Sri Ram Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra, Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Prabhupada ki Sri Gurnitai ki Radha Giridhari ki. Prabhuji, can you read the Lilamrita? Because I won't be able to read from my computer.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm just sharing the screen and read out. Thank you, Prabhu.
Now you read it because I can't read from phone.
Okay, I'm reading it. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So, Prabhupada Lilamrita, we are reading from chapter 31 and a threat against ISKCON. Fearlessly with drums and kortals, the Kirtana explodes again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Advaita is cheerfully smashing the kortalas together and chanting. Brahmananda, jumping up and down, trying to glimpse into the custom room, is crying uncontrollably and yelling, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Sri Prabhupada, free of customs, suddenly appears before them. Kirtanananda Swami, reserved until now, leaps around airport chairs and runs into him. Everyone is pushing and running, trying to be where Prabhupada is. Prabhupada's saffron robes were wrinkled from the long flight, and he wears a knit sweater. He holds his white plastic attaché case in his left hand and again rises in the right arm with forefinger and thumbs extended from the bead pad. He smiles wonderfully, beaming to his children. Devotees cheer and cry, all glories to Prabhupada. As he works towards a saffron-covered sofa in the airport lounge, the devotees move with him in an ecstatic way, pressing in close. He sits down. Paramananda from New Vrindavan comes forward with his infant son, the first boy born in ISKCON, and holds him forward to Prabhupada for blessings. Prabhupada is smiling, and the devotees were completely and unabashedly blissful. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiryate. Srivantam Swakatha Krishna Punya Sarvanam Kirtanam Hidayantasto Bhadrani Vidunote Shrutrasatam Nashta Prayasu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nestaki. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Naranarayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasdeva, the author of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotees. who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome in the heart is almost completely destroyed in loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs established as an irrevocable fact. So, Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Today's Bhagavatam reading is fifth canto, the creative impetus, chapter 7, the activities of King Bharat in text 7. Can you share this, Lord Prabhu? Yavam karma vishuddhaya visuddha sattva sayanata hridaya ka sharire brahmani bhagavati vasudevo महापुरुषरूपोपलक्षणे श्रीवत्सकौस्तुभ वनमालारि धर रूपलक्षिते निपुज पुरुष हिरले लिखे तेनात्मनि पुरुषरूपेण विरोचमानम् उच्चस्तरा भक्तिरनुदीन मेघ अनुधीरनेम एधामानं राजयताम्. Once again, evam karma vishuddhaya visuddha sattvayantara hridayakcha sarire brahmani bhagavati vasudevo mahapurusha रूपोपलाक्षणे श्रीवासकौस्तुभवनमालारि धारागधाधिभिरुपलक्षिते निजपुरुषहृदय लिखितेनात्मनि पुरुषरूपेण विरोचमानं मान उच्चिस्तरं भक्तिर अनुधीनम् एदमान Raya Jayata. Somebody else, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I am reading.
Yeah.
Evam karma vishuddhaya vishuddha sattva shantar hridaya akasha sharire brahmani bhagavati vasudeve mahapurusha rupo lakshane Srivatsya Kaustuva Vanamalari Daro Gadavir Upalakshite Nija Purusharil Likite Natmani Purusharupena Virochamana Uchestaram Bhaktiranubandidam Edham Mano Raya Jayata. Hare Krishna.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Evam karma vishuddhaya vishuddha satvasya hirde e akasha sharire brahmani bhagavati vasudeve mahapurusha rupo palakshane shrivatsa kaustumbha vanamalir dhar gadadhibhir upalakshite निज पुरुषा हरल लिखितेनात्मनि पुरुष रूपेण विरोचमान उच्चैस्तरां भक्ति अनुदिनम् एधमान राजायता. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Anybody else? No one? Okay. Synonyms, evam, thus, karma vishuddhaya, by offering everything for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and not desiring any results of his pious activities. Visuddha Sattvasya, of Bharat Maharaj, whose existence was completely purified. Anta Hirdaya Aksha Sarire, Akasha, Anta Hirday Akasha Sarire. The super soul within the heart is meditated on by yogis. Brahmani into impersonal Brahman, which is worshipped by impersonalists. Gyanis Bhagavati, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva, Lord Krishna. Mahapurusha of the Supreme Person. Rupa of the form. Upakal Lakshane, having the symptoms. Srivasa, the mark on the chest of the Lord. Kaustubha, the Kaustubha gem used by the Lord. Vanmala, flower garland. Haridhara, by the disc and conchs. Gadha Adhivi, by the club and other symbols. Upkalakshate, being recognized. Nija Purusha Hital Viketena, which is situated in the heart of his own devotee, like an engraved picture, Atmani, in his own mind, Purusharupena, by his personal form, Virochamanani, shining, Uchaistaram, on a very high level, Bhakti, devotional service, Anudhinam, day after day, Yadhatman, increasing, Raya, possessing force, Ajatya appeared, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this way, being purified by ritualistic sacrifices, the heart of Maharaj Bharat was completely uncontaminated. His devotional service unto Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, increased day after day. Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, is the original personality of Godhead, manifest as the super soul, Paramatma, as well as the impersonal Brahman. Yogis meditate upon the localized Paramatma, situated in the heart. Jnanis worship the impersonal Brahman as the supreme absolute truth. And the devotees worship Vasudeva, the supreme personality of Godhead, whose transcendental body is described in the Shastras. His body is decorated with the Srivasta, the Kaustubhajiv, and the flower garland, and his hands hold a conchal disc, club, and lotus flower. Devotees like Narad always think of him within their hearts. Purport: Lord Vasudeva, or Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is manifest within the hearts of yogis in his Paramatma feature, and he is worshipped as impersonal Brahman by Jnanis. The Paramatma feature is described in the Shastras as having 4 hands holding this conchal, lotus flower, and club, as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 2, Text 8. Kaschita swadhenantara hridaya vakashe pradeshe matram purusham vasantam chaturbhujam kanja ratanga shakaha gadadharam dharanya samaranti. Paramatma is situated in the hearts of all living beings. He has 4 hands, which holds the 4 symbolic weapons. All devotees who think of the Paramatma within the heart worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the temple deity. They also understand the impersonal features of the Lord and his bodily rays and Brahman effulgence. Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Loknath Swami Niti Namne. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namne. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharini Nirvisesa Sunyavadi पाश्चादेशतारिणी मुखम करोति वाचालम पंगुम पंगलंगड़ाकिरियम यत् कृपातमहं वंदे गुरुदीनतारिणम् ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदामयं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागन रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहित कृष्ण चैतन्य देव श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सागना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपीश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna once again and welcome to our morning Srimad Bhagavatam classes. Today's reading, as I mentioned before, is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, The Creative Impetus, and Chapter 7, The Activities of King Bharat. In Text 7, Yavam Karma Vishuddha Vishuddhasya Sattva Sattvasyantara Hridaya Akasha Sarire Brahmani Bhagavati Vasudeva Mahapurusha Rupo Pala Kakshane Srivasa Kostubha Vanamala Malari Dhar Gadadi Vir Upala Kshate Nija Purusha Hile Viketen Atmani Purusha Rupena Viro Chaman Uchaistiram Bhaktir Anudhinam Edhamanam Rajayata. In translation, once again, in this way, being purified by ritualistic sacrifice at the heart of Maharaj Bharat was completely uncontaminated. His devotional service unto Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, increased day after day. Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, is the original personality of Godhead, manifested as the super soul, Paramatma, as well as the impersonal Brahman. Yogis meditate upon the localized Paramatma situated in the heart. Jnanis worship the impersonal Brahman as the supreme absolute truth. And the devotees worship Vasudeva, the supreme personality of Godhead, whose transcendental body is described in the Shastras. His body is decorated with the Srivas, the Kaustubha jewel, and a flower garland, and his hand holds a console, disc, club, and lotus flower. Devotees like Narad always think of him within their hearts. Briefly, just recap what the chapter is all about. Remember, King Bharat is son of Lord Rishabdev, and going back to Bharat, the son of Rishabdev, son of Navi, and Agnidhar, Priyavarta, Swambhu Manu, and Brahma. Going back, coming down from Brahma, the real creator, the first being is Swambhu Manu, whose son is Priyavarta, whose son is Agnidhar, whose son is Navi, Navi's son is Rasabdev, and Rasabdev's son is Bharat. Remember, Rasabdev had 100 sons, and the eldest Bharat was given the kingdom, was coronated. Rasabdev is described in Bhagavad Puran. He was a great emperor, going back to his father. He was a great emperor and a pure devotee famed for his virtue. The Srimad Bhagavatam explicitly states, of these 100 sons of Rasabdev, the eldest was known as Bharat. Since the reign of Maharaj Bharat, this planet has been called Bharatvash. So all of you know that. And before that, it was called, what was it called? I missed the name. Bharat's righteous reign and devotion made him famous for the land of India called Bharatvarsh. Rashabdev is son of Nabhi. Rashabdev literally means the bull. An incarnation of Lord Vishnu was born of King Nabhi and his wife Meru Devi, as narrated in this canto, chapter 5. Lord Vishnu told the sages at Nabhi's sacrifice, I shall expand myself into a planetary portion and thus enter the womb of Meru Devi, the wife of Maharaj Nabhi, the son of Agnidhar. In other words, Lord Vishnu incarnated as Rashabdev at Nabhi's request. King Rashabdev grew to be a saintly ruler who performed yajnas and instructed his 100 sons in his spiritual wisdom. Under his guidance, the world flourished, and his own life exemplified detachment and devotion. Navi, the son of Agnidhar, King Navi, I'm just recalling what so that you can understand the genealogy. King Navi, sometimes called Navi, was son of King Agnidhar. He is celebrated for his austere sacrifices performed with his wife Meru Devi to obtain a virtuous son. The Bhagavad records that Navi, the son of Agnidhar, prayed with great devotion for a son like the Lord. Pleased by his devotion, Lord Vishnu agreed to incarnate as Navi's son, Rasabdev, and Navi himself then abdicated, renounced royal duties, and retired to sacred life while Rasabdev ascended the throne. And Agni, before his father Agni, Navi's father, Agnidhar, was son of King Priyavarta. He ruled Jambudvipa. Yeah, so we got the name. Bharatvarsh was before called Jambudvipa. The old name of India, righteously protecting his inhabitants as if they were his children. When his father Priyavarta renounced the world to pursue his spiritual life, Agnidhar completely obeyed his order. Agnidhar was one of the 9 sons of Priyavarta who divided them into provinces, and he himself had 9 illustrious sons, the eldest being Navi. Thus Agnidhar continued the line of the noble Kshatriyas following from his father's exemplary. And his father, Priyavarta, son of Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu, eldest son was Priyavarta, famous for his scriptures as a powerful king, and later a great ascetic. According to Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 2, after Priyavarta departed to follow the path of his spiritual life by undergoing austerities, his son Agnidhar dutifully took over the rulership. In other words, Priyavarta renounced worldly powers, giving a kingdom to his son Agnidhar, and living as a saint. Through the dynasty continued with Agnidhar ruling Jambudvip and Priyavarta's line led down to Navi, Rishabdev, and ultimately coming to Bharat. So, and remember, something wrong? Can you hear me? Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you.
Okay. You wanted to say something? Some of the sacrifices King Bharat performed earlier in this chapter, text 4, during that period, Maharaj Bharat ruled the entire world consisting of 7 islands as the supreme emperor. He followed the principles of religion and he was a strict follower of Vedic rituals and performances of sacrifices with all the required paraphernalia. He also distributed great wealth among the Brahmins. The types of yajnas he performed was Sruta Yajna, prescribed as Shruti, that means Vedas, and Agni Stoma, offering of Agni. Aswamedha Yajna was a whole sacrifice, symbolic of universal sovereignty. I'm not going to go into the details. And Rajasuya's imperial, that you show that you're the supreme king. And Vajpayee is Soma sacrifice. Soma is a type of, I don't know what's mixed up there, some type of juice. That's offered in the Vajpayee yajna. These yajnas would have involved chanting of Samaveda and sacrifice of fires, offering the avis, and offer, of course, giving lots of charitable items to the Brahmins. So this yajna, it's not like the yajnas we do these days. Each yajna takes weeks or months, like the Rajasuya Aswamedha Yajna is one minimum of 1 year. Oh, you just have to follow the horse as long as it takes. So while the horse is roaming the earth planet, this yajna is still going on, and you are feeding the Brahmins and giving them charities and all sorts of things given. So you can understand there are lots of expenses involved in these yajnas. Each of these 4 yajnas, Agni Stoma, Aswamedha, Rajasuya, and Vajpayee, are grand Vedic sacrifice that had deep ritual, social, and spiritual sacrifice. And you can going through the Bhagavatam, only very rich kings were able to perform these sacrifices. Yes. And often under the direction of learned Brahmins. Remember, the Agni Stoma Yajna, the literal meaning is praise of Agni. Fire, remember, is fire god. And the nature is Asoma Yajna, the standard form and foundation for other Soma rituals, performed as Agnihotra extension, usually lasting 1 day. And the purpose of Soma Yajna is a general purificatory ritual meant to please Agni Deva and other deities. And is offered for health, prosperity, children, and spiritual merit. And it involves Soma extraction is from a special plant and I have no idea what sort of plant is that. And oblations to various deities like Indra, Agni, Varun, etc., all the demigods, chanting hymns from Samaveda, Rigveda, and Yajurveda. And in the Agni, in the fire, you put in ghee and soma juice and other items. The significance of Soma Yajna is seen as a gateway to higher yajnas. You, after doing the Soma Yajna, then you can do the other ones. So symbolized as purification of the self and society, and also ensured harmony between humans and cosmic forces. Ashwamedha Yagsha, we know quite a bit about it, especially from Ramayana and Mahabharata. A grand royal yajna lasting over a year, performed by the emperor Samrat and to assert universal sovereignty, Chakravarti ruler for this the division directions to prove supremacy over other kings. Remember, the horse is left out, and those people who do not accept his sovereignty, they can fight with him, or otherwise you just, if you don't want to fight, you many times people know their own abilities, and so they accept their sovereignty and let go. But other cases, they put up a fight, and whoever, normally the king, before they set out for Aswamedha, they know their own ability. It also gives a spiritually empower the sovereignty, or also intended to purification of sins and granting offerings. The procedure for Aswamedha is sacred horse is selected and set free to wander for a year. Remember, selecting a horse is also a procedure. There's like they have to be of certain types, have to go to some certain categories. It's not that you just go and pick any horse from the stable. And the king's army follows the horse. Any kingdom that challenges its path is confronted. After a year, the horse returns and is ceremonially sacrificed. Extensive chanting, feasting, and dakshina or gifts are given to Brahmins. It symbolizes, the horse symbolizes the king's vital energy, and its sacrifice is symbolic of ego dissolution and dedication to dharma, seen as pleasing Lord Vishnu. Notable performance of the Lord Ramchandra, Vaidya, Maharaj Yudhishthir, and Rishabdev also performed. So these three examples are from our scriptures. Rajasuya is called royal consecration. Literally means imperial consecration sacrifice. A prestigious Vedic sacrifice done once in a king's lifetime, done only once, establishes the righteous king's authority over the known world. And the purpose is to declare sovereignty and invoke divine blessings for righteous rule. Brings dharma, prosperity, and spiritual elevation. The procedure for it is performed with the help of elite Ritvik priests. Mataji, you can, your mic is on. It includes fire rituals, grand assembly of kings and sages, distribution of wealth and honors, offerings of gifts to Brahmins and subjects. performance of symbolic acts like the king washes the feet of Brahmins. The significance of Rajasuya is promote dharma based on kingship, acts as a spiritual coronation. In Bhagavatam, Maharaj Yudhishthira performed the Rajasuya is glorified as being most pleasing to Lord Krishna, who personally attended it. And the last one is Vajpayee literally means drink of strength or rise of power. Nature, a highly ritualistic Soma Yagna performed only by qualified kings or Brahmins, considered equal to or superior to Rajasuya in terms of prestige. To increase the spiritual strength and vitality of the king, bestows long life, fame, and vigor, demonstrates perfect mastery over Vedic rituals. So it looks like this is the final ritual, the top of all the yajnas, which involves some 17 soma pressings compared to one in Agni. 17 types of juices are used. A chariot race where the performer symbolically wins, and grand offerings and distribution of food and wealth. Vaj, the symbolic Vaj means in strength to pay is drink. So the drink is symbolized as giving his strength to the king Sadi, and considered a culmination of Vedic ritual tradition. So this is the final ritual yajna, the Vajpayee yajna is performed by exalted kings. The spiritual and social significance of this sacrifice, remember I'm talking about Bharat Maharaj sacrifice, pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The primary purpose of Vedic yajnas is to please Lord Vishnu, referred to in Gita and Bhagavatam as the yajna bhavaka, or enjoyer of sacrifices, enjoyer of yajna, and devotionally centered, not karmic or materialistic, meant to maintain harmony between the kingdom and the cosmic, and directed towards purification of society and liberation, moksha. Establishing Dharma Rajya, righteous kingdom. By conducting these yajnas, Bharat Maharaj upheld Varnashram Dharma, empowered Brahmins and sages to carry out their duties, create an environment of peace, prosperity, and spiritual consciousness, and preparing for renunciation. Interestingly, Bharat eventually renounced the world and became a forest dweller. This shows that his yajnas purified his heart and detached him from royal pleasures. And he saw the world, the success, and turned towards the path of bhakti and yajna. It all comes down to one thing, that you have so much of wealth, you can perform all these expensive and time-consuming yajnas, and if what was the end result? Finally, Bharat Maharaj renounced everything and became a forest dweller, which these yajnas supposed to cultivate yourself so you can eventually sacrifice, leave everything and go out in the forest and become a forest dweller. So that's, and eventually, well, supposed to please the Supreme Personality as well. Although Maharaj Bharat performed all kinds of ritualistic ceremonies, he was unattached to the material enjoyment. So it's actually cultivates the detachment, supposed to, and also elevated consciousness. Due to his sacrificial and devotional leadership, the entire earth was named Bharat Varsha. His reign set a standard for ideal kingship, blending Vedic rituals, ethical governance, and devotional transcendence. His later life, don't want to dwell on it, is becoming interesting. So that was the significance of the 4 types of yajnas Bharat Maharaj has performed. In short, any comments? I think looks like somebody is keen to make some contribution. I hear some voices. Yes, Prabhu, who wants to add to it? Hare Krishna. Anybody home? Hello?
Hare Krishna.
I thought everybody had gone away.
Yeah, it is because of the audience. Okay.
Yeah, who wants to add to it?
Have we got plenty of time and we're going to this?
Sorry, I didn't get you, Prabhu. Can you come again?
No, we have plenty of time, so there's enough time for comment, reflections, or comments. So, devotees, please come forward. Thank you.
One other thing I'd like to mention here is that in the Vaikuntha Dham or even Golok, everybody has got 4 hands, and just like the Lord himself. But there's one. Let me ask you people, how do you distinguish between the Supreme Personality and other people? They all got 4 hands. How can we identify who is the Supreme Personality? They all look alike. Anybody?
I think in later chapters it mentioned that according to the arrangement of the symbols in 4 hands, Lord Vishnu is given different names. So
yeah, I'm not talking about the Lord Vishnu. Yeah, you're right. But what I'm saying here, my question is, all the devotees, they also go to the Golok Dham or Vaikuntha Dham, but everybody got 4 hands, just like the Supreme Personality there. So how do we distinguish? It's not in the later chapters, it's in this sloka.
Will we have the Kaustubha Mani, Prabhu? Kaustubha Mani.
And Shivatsa.
Yes.
Shivatsa.
Yeah, Srivasta and Kaustubha. Srivasta, yeah, it was the 2 things. Srivasta and Kaustubha Mani. Kaustubha Mani you can see from a distance. So otherwise, everybody is dressed up similarly, the same features, and they also have the same symbols. But Lord, the Supreme Personality is distinguished with Kaustubha and Srivasta. Yes, some of you are attentive.
just a little bit of reflection. In this verse it says that Bharat Maharaj conducted so many elaborate yajnas, and then he retired. And he said that all his materialism, everything was extinguished. But eventually then he got entangled. So how can we sort of harmonize this?
I didn't get your question, Prabhu. Can you come again?
Yeah. Sorry. In this verse, it says that Bharat did so many big, elaborate yagnas. And by doing this, his heart became completely pure, uncompleted. All his desires, everything was finished. Then he retired to the forest to do
Forest.
Yeah. But eventually, we see that he also got entangled with the deer. So how can we rationalize this? Because after doing all these yagnas, his heart was purified, and then he again came back to this attachment. Maybe somebody can just a reflection. How do we harmonize this?
Yeah, it's it only shows one thing, that at the time of your leaving, at the time of death, even a slight distraction can cause you to come back. I mean, how Bharat Maharaj had performed so many, as you mentioned, the whole 4 types of yajnas, and he was such a great devotee. But it shows how difficult it is to be really detached. Even he got deviated. Remember, he went. The whole purpose of his leaving his kingdom and going to the forest was to be detached. He was, but somehow he became attached to a deer, and that caused the problem of coming back to it. Just to me, that's my own. I haven't looked into other people's views in it. Is that shows one thing, how difficult it is to be fully detached and one-mindedness to the Supreme Personality of God. That shows one thing, and the other that also shows the importance of being attached to Lord's name. That what it comes to my mind that all these pastimes of different devotees shows us that how we should be careful of the weaknesses or the loopholes or the traps and how to avoid it. The Bharat Maharaj sacrificed everything, and a minor distraction got him back. He had to come back as a Diya and then come back as a Jad Bharat, another 2 lifetimes. That's what symbolizes it's my understanding. Anybody else can contribute to it. Anybody else, anything more to it? Or we can, I'll certainly look into it and it's coming, so we can discuss more about it. But right now, anybody else like to contribute to this point?
Doesn't seem to be, Prabhu.
Okay.
So I think we'll end the class here. Any one is going forward.
We call it off.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhesha kipasindhvesha
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Somebody is saying something.
Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.
His Grace Rasparayan Prabhu ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj.
Hari Hari.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.